Sage Evolution Intelligence Reporting, designing a new layout using the layout generator. This video will show you how you can design and generate your own financial report layout using the layout generator. Once you have run the Report Designer report from the Report Manager, the process to design a new report layout using the layout generator is as follows. In Excel, go to the BI Tools tab and select the New Layout option. The Layout Generator will open. Select on the Layout options. Layout options act as filters for your report data and include information such as your company name and your fiscal year detail. Once you've set your layout options, you can then add your text columns. Your text columns indicate the descriptive text of your rows, such as your account and your account row description. Once you've added your text columns, you can then add your columns. Columns indicate what you see across the top of your balance sheet, income statement, or trial balance. Once you've set up your columns, you then need to add your rows. Before you can add your rows, you need to select a row set. These are a selection of commonly used rows and can be defined by your GL category codes or an account filter rule. Once you've selected a row set, you will then be able to add your rows. Rows indicate what you see down the left side of your layout and what you have defined in the row set, such as revenue, cost of sales, other income, other expenses. Once you've set up your rows, you can then generate the layout into the Excel sheet in the Excel workbook. To design your layout, you first need to run the Financial Report Designer report from the Report Manager. Once you've run the report and entered your report parameters, you will open the report in Microsoft Excel. To design your own layout using the Layout Generator, go to the BI Tools tab. On the Report Designer grouping, select New Layout. Here you will be prompted to enter a layout name. Once you've entered the layout name, select OK. The Report Designer Layout Generator interface will open. Here you will select the company name as well as the fiscal year and branch code if required. Once you've entered your layout option filters, you then need to select your text columns. Here this describes what information you see and the detail, for example the account and the description of that specific account. Once you've added your text columns, the next step is to add your columns. These can include fields such as your actual O2, actual O3, or your actual year-to-date. Or you can include calculations such as actual quarter 1, actual quarter 2, actual quarter 3. You can also add your own calculations by selecting Add Calculation, and a calculator will appear. You can then use the formulas or calculations to then add your own fields that can be used in your layout. For this example, we're going to add actual quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. You will see them appear in the columns area on the layout generator. Once you've added your columns, you can add spaces. These will just add spaces in the Excel worksheet to neaten your Excel layout. Once you've completed adding your columns, you can then move on to rows. As you can see, the current rows is empty as you need to select a row set before you can add your rows. You can either use an existing row set that has been set up, or you can go and define a new row set. To add a new row set, select Add. Enter a name for this row set. Once you've entered a name, select OK. The row set option will now come up. You can then type descriptive text in for your rows. At this level, you can now determine the type. Are you going to base your rows on accounts or are you going to base them on a GL category code? Once you've set those up, you can add your rule, for example, and as you can see, as you start to enter those, if you select on that specific rule, you can see in the preview window that all those accounts that fall into that GL category code appear in the preview. You can do the same for the rest of your GL category codes. As you can see, you now have full flexibility when it comes to setting up your row sets for your income statement, balance sheet, or trial balances. These can be used across all report layouts and are centrally managed. So once you set up your row set, you go back to your rows option and you can select the row set you'd like to use, select a row set, and you can now use the fields in that specific row set. Again, you can add spaces and bring those into the rows area. Again, here you can add calculations and include information such as your total gross profit, your net profit and loss before tax, and your total profit and loss. Once you've set up your layouts, you can then select Save Layout to save the layout. This will now become a layout that you will now see in your Layouts option, as well as on your Manage Layouts and on your Quick Edit and Quick Generate options. Now that you've set up this new layout, all that's left to do is generate the layout. Once you select Generate, a new worksheet will open with this newly defined layout in the workbook. There you have your layout, your revenue, cost of sales, distribution cost, as set up in the layout generator. The next video in the series highlights the new Report Designer task pane for designing your financial reports.